Almost done with this bathroom, basement. So let's talk about 2022, what I learned, what I need to learn, my pricing. I'll give you guys cliff notes on my pricing, but we're almost done with the basement here. So let's talk about gross and net profit for 2022. All right, so year's almost over. We're in December. I do have a little bit more money coming in, but it's nothing crazy, nothing to write home about. But so let's just get right into it. My revenue for this year, as it stands right now, is $712,810. That's what I have in the books. That's not what I have outside the books coming in. That's what's the money that went through my accounts this year. So now I think I made a post or something, I did sell over $1 million of work this year. So I am like, that's revenue wise, contracts, signed contracts in the books, but we just can't complete it this year. So this is what we can complete this year. We're running out of year, plus we got material delays, time off, things happen. Like I waited 6 weeks for 6 yards of concrete. So for a job site. So this is what I can do for this year. How do I feel about it? I'm very happy. This is exactly what I wanted to do. Definitely head over. I dwarfed last year. Maybe I'll link in the description if I put a video out last year, what happened last year. But I dwarfed last year's projection, and I wanted to do, I think I was like 500,000 this year. So I completely dwarfed it. Now I got a bunch of money rolling over to next year. So next year is looking like it's going to be even better than this year. I don't want to grow too much, because I'm at the limit of the subcontractors that I have now, as far as what they can do, how much work they can, productively and quality wise produce. And I know everybody's going to say like, oh, just hire some more. Like I don't want to. This number, as far as the gross wise, was me not even being in the field most of the year, because I was at home working on my basement. And we'll go into the net numbers maybe a little bit later. Because my entire basement did come out of my business, so that's why my net number is lower than you would think it would be, because I basically financed my entire basement build out of it. So yeah, that's where I was. That's where I'm at this year. Very happy with it. For me, it's great, and we're doing larger projects, which is nice. And I do want to get into what I've done as far as number wise count of what I've done for this year. And I'll get into some pricing, cliff note kind of pricing. I am going to be posting my entire pricing sheet on my Patreon page, so everybody can see for my area what I charge. And yeah, that's basically. So as far as projects this year, we've done 9 bathrooms, 5 kitchens, kitchenettes, kitchens. We've got 2 new additions going on. One's not completed yet. One is pretty much done. We did 4 decks and about 9 jobs miscellaneous, stairs, laundry rooms, conversions, generator jobs, and then obviously one pretty nice, decent sized basement, 1,500 square foot basement, give or take. So that's just the cliff notes for, we have other jobs, but that's the main ones. That's your bread and butter, the bigger jobs. We do have smaller, 4,000, 5,000 jobs, low voltage work, stuff like that. So that's what we did this year so far. Well, that's what we did this year. I'm not booking any more work. We're booked into next year. And I have a couple other jobs that have not signed contracts yet, but I gave them to the end of December to sign the contract, because I have other work I need to put in play. They want to start like March, April timeframe, which is, everybody wants to start in the spring, right? So like you've got till the end of December to sign a contract. Otherwise, I've got other work I'm going to put in place, and we can move you back into, September, October next year, which, that's what we're looking at right now as my books stand. So we'll get into pricing wise. Pricing, pretty simple. I charge $135 for 1.5 inch 4x8 sheet of drywall, hung and finished to level 4. Now you might think that's expensive, but you got to think, I am supplying the materials. We're bringing the materials on site, so wherever it's going, if it's going upstairs, in the basement, etc., etc., and that is for 1/2 inch. So if we have additional, that's my price for just a drywall job, or that's my price for if I'm doing like a bathroom, living room, kitchen, whatever I'm doing. If I'm doing drywall work, that's what I use and plug it into my sheet for my estimate, my pricing. That's my figure, and then obviously my subs get their money, which is less than that for obvious reasons. And yeah, that's what I charge. Now, if it's a 4x10, 4x12 sheet going into the ceiling, and that's all we're doing the ceiling wise, then we're charging more. It's just harder work. But if it's a walls and ceiling, I can, walls are easier than ceilings. It's a wash. We just roll with it. So I just count boards a sheet, boom, done. That's basically it. So painting wise, if we're just painting, $1.58 a square foot for walls. That's 1 coat primer, 2 coats paint, and then $1.91 for ceiling. That's 1 coat primer, 2 coats flat, whatever you want to. I had one customer want some semi-gloss on their ceiling, so it is what it is. But that does not include materials. That does include site prep, but that does not include materials. And obviously, I'm not working around a bunch of furniture. So if a customer has a bunch of furniture in their house, they're either going to have to get pods, they're going to have to move it themselves, or pay us to move it, and that's additional. So that's my That's my painting pricing. Load bearing work. So if we're doing a load bearing beam, if we're basically taking out a wall and structurally putting a beam up there, $280 a linear foot, materials included. That can fluctuate obviously, but that's I looked at my pricing. We've done, I think, probably 15 of those in the last year and a half, and that's my average price that I charge for load bearing work. Have I charged more? Absolutely. If we have to tear down a wall, do a bunch of prep work because we're trying to save like a kitchen or something like that, then yeah, it's going to cost more. Can it cost less? Absolutely. If half the work's already done. We did this one about 3 months ago, where the customer was actually a landlord, and he wanted this wall move. He wanted a beam put in. He already did half the work, so yes, it was less than that. So that is what it is. Bathrooms. Our bathrooms are no less than $15,000. That's tiled shower with single vanity, tiled floor, basic bathroom, nothing crazy, because that's just we're moving some plumbing around. They want to they want to revamp their bathroom. Our bathrooms don't go anything less than $15,000. Now, if it's a half bath, yeah, we can talk. That's going to be less, obviously, but we're talking full bathrooms. You got your your new floors, your wall, your new trim, everything, toilet, new shower, tile, and then picking it out. Nothing less than $15,000, and it obviously goes up. Just did one not too long ago in Commerce. It was over $40,000, and I didn't make as much money as I wanted to on that one because there's a lot of tile work. There's other things. I did misquote it a little bit, but I still made money on it. It was over $40,000, and it was nothing crazy as far as fixtures. I didn't go to Amazon to buy their nice crazy bamboo whatever. It was just all from like tile shops, Floor and Decor, Home Depot, Menards. Their standalone tub was from Menards, stuff like that. So. And then new construction, like we did a couple new construction mother-in-law suites this year, and your average price is around $250 a square foot. That does not include us putting a garage underneath it, and that does not include other things, but you must have at least 300 square foot for that price. And and just looking at my numbers, going my research for this video, $250 per square foot is your base, and it goes up from there. It doesn't really go down, but it does go up from there. Obviously, we've done over 300 a square foot, and then with custom stuff, it goes up high from there. So those are my basic cliff notes for pricing. You guys can check out my Patreon page for the in-depth video I'm going to put out on it here next week, and I'm going to go over pretty much all my stuff. But that's my pricing for this year is what I've been, and it's been working good. I am going to raise my prices a little bit for certain things, just because, for one, inflation, two, I can, and that the market dictates it. And then there's some things I'm probably just going to do away with as far as services. Not going to do them anymore. Just don't need to. I'm going to kind of shrink down what I need and shrink my, if I can just get hone it down and just alleviate some of the stress in my life with being a contractor that manages other subcontractors and stuff. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. So what did I learn from this year? Subbing out work it's been working. It worked out great. It actually did. I found some quality people I'm very happy with. Some not so. I'm obviously suing one of them. So it did learn some of my lessons on a few. There, it is what it is. Lost a couple, some thousands of dollars there, but over last year, over 2021, it has been absolutely far superior. I like, obviously, kitchen and baths, decks, the easy work I do like, and I am going to get back in the field and do work myself. So not only am I going to sub out work and keep that revenue stream kind of coming in, I'm also going to do work myself, put on the tool belt, if you will, and keep more labor profits for myself. And I can pick and choose. So like I just did a drywall job for one of my wife's, co-workers, if you will. And it was a small it was a hanging 4 sheets of drywall. That was it, level 4 finish. And I charged $1,000 for it. Well, with additional 1 electrical outlet and 1.5 rolls, 2 rolls of insulation, in there. But yeah, $1,000 was my price because not only was it $135 per sheet of drywall, it's a small job, so it's got to be worth my time. Drywall, there's multiple trips, so that was my price for that job. And it was a good deal for him, and I obviously made some money on it. But that's just trying to get back in the swing of things too. So it's fun for sure. All right, let's get into next year. Next year, I have we're still working on one mother-in-law suite here in Farmington, and we also have a second story addition. Well, sorry, a second story. We're putting on a house. It's a single story house right now. We're putting a second story on, and we also have another addition. We're putting not a mother-in-law suite, but like a wing of a house for their ensuite, basically. So we have that as well. Small framing job for an addition, and I think 2 more bathrooms as well on the books for next year, and that's what we have for next year. So yeah, and then there's also 1 more job I'm waiting. It's not even, it might not even happen, but they asked about it and they seem they have plans. So there's another, it might be an entire house build. So that's what I have for next year. And but I'm still advertising, still putting out Facebook ads, stuff like that. Still hitting it hard on that kind of stream, because I don't want these kind of leads to dry up by any means. So yeah, there we go, in like 1 siding job. So all right, let's talk about net profit. So net profit for this year is right around $121,000, and I know that's a little low for what you guys think. If I've done over $700,000 in revenue, but you got to think I subbed out pretty much everything this year, give or take, and also my entire basement build, less probably $5,000 to $7,000 came off my profit line on my business. So, and we didn't really spare too much expense with this basement. Built it the way I wanted to. The bathroom that we put in here, with the urinal, with everything that soaker tub, etc., I probably would have charged regular customer around $45,000 to $50,000 for that bathroom, because it's putting a bathroom in a basement where there wasn't one before. It just takes money. It takes a lot of time, planning, and money. There's no circuits. An additional, completely separate 100 amp panel for my basement alone to power everything. Subs, bathroom, viewing area, bar, everything. So it just, we did it right. So yeah, my profit for this year is a little bit down. It's the way I wanted it. This is exactly, I still paid my bills relatively. So, and as we stand right now, I do have some free time, but I could keep my guys busy into the summer, and if not, in the fall next year. So not everybody, I don't have enough, all the tile work, I don't have all the electrical work, but framers, finished carpentry, stuff like that. And I will also be putting my tool belt on and getting back to work and honing my skills as a contractor and keeping some of that labor profit for myself. So that's the plan for next year. My plan, my goals for next year is maybe to be the exact same, 750-ish, revenue, but I want to keep, at least half as profit, like straight profit. That would be great. So, which I don't know if I can, we're probably going to be, if I can do like 800,000 to 350, 400,000 in profit, that would be great. So that's my goal. Will I get there? Who knows? So it's we'll see. And definitely better than 2021. We're moving in the right direction. Still got room for improvement. I will say I do not want to grow anymore. I'm not looking to add more crews and just basically just kind of shoot for the moon. I don't want like 1,000 projects going on at one time. Right now, I think I've got like 6, and like 3 of them are like pretty much done. We're just doing like the final 1%ish. So I want to keep it around 3 or 4, maybe 3 projects going on at the same time. That way I can keep, subs working, and, like there's projects where I can completely sub out, not do anything, collect a percentage off the top and be done. Those jobs are great, but they still take some management on my side. I have to pull permits, make sure people, do a little bit of adult babysitting, make sure they're on time, deal with customer complaints, stuff like that. So those are nice, but I'd rather be, on a tool, creating sawdust and, just that kind of work too, while somebody else is also working on another project somewhere where I'm still collecting percentage. Not exactly residual income-ish, but it's, I'm not doing any of the labor kind of thing. So yeah, that's basically my 2022 in a nutshell, guys. Appreciate it. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Do you think my prices are too low, too high, just right, all that kind of stuff? I appreciate all the criticism and good well wishes. Have a happy holiday season. We'll probably have a couple more videos coming out before the new year. I'm not sure, this is probably going to come out the first week of December, but we'll be right around there. So you guys have a great rest of your year. I'll see you on the next one.